Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Kaiser here. I have finally reached Dragon. That's a very big accomplishment for me. Here you can see it, Dragon 4, and I have 5 stamina left. What better thing to do than to check my ranking? 3371. Okay, I'm still far away from 1k. 2 days remaining in the season, and you can see that I have a Moonstamp now. Later you'll see in a clip that I actually got it from crafting using moonshards only, no NFTs. But that's the only difference in my team right now. Everything else is the same. But before we go into live testing, I have lots of moonshards. And I also have Mystic Moon Dust. You know, I've already said that it was my last time crafting with NFT, but I really want to do it. If not, it's wasted. Should I do it? It's just 150 SLP. 150 SLP though. Okay, let's do it. Plant Charm of Faith. Oh well, that's 150 SLP. It's okay, it's 1 day of grinding. What are the rest? Nothing else. Let us start with one live testing. This is my first game in Dragon 4. I am not sure what I'm going to face. I have a feeling my opponents are very powerful. It looks like my opponent has a Cerastus, Chubby, Goda, Nemo, Ronin, frontline, Pangolin, midline, Sea Slug. Oh, the Sea Slug's gonna be a problem though because it can cleanse. Okay, my opponent used an eggshell, which taunts himself. Oh, this is a good starting hand. See that? 114. So nice. If I drew into a clear, I could just use it to banish immediately. So that's good. Oh, so painful. And it gives 2 cleanser. You know, cleanser, it works really well with risky fish because it won't get feared after using risky fish. You just remove 1 stack of cleanser. Get my draw pile now. I'll normally look at my draw pile if I wanted to use early bird. I was thinking of using Kestrel, but if I use Kestrel, it gets rid of 1 cleanser. I'm not sure if I want it, so I'm discarding it now, hoping to get a card draw. This is okay, I guess. Get my opponent, Pangolin, Beast down. Beside an Aqua Vitality Rune Charm, there's nothing too interesting. Nothing to be scared of, I guess. Oof! I take that back. That was a very nasty show. I wanted to check my draw pile, but there's nothing. Here I am trying to be greedy. I'm hoping to draw attack cards, but bad luck, I guess. Just I have to make do with what I have. One thing underrated about Hungry Bird, which he just used, and then Cupid into Risky Fish, the Hungry Bird steals life, so it bypasses shield. So if I ever have shield, it's useless against Hungry Birds. 20 damage. Oh, this is just sad. Can't draw into anything good this game. Babylonia or maybe my draw pile doesn't look that good also. Because if my midline dies, 3 of those cards in my draw pile will be gone. It will be turned into revenge cards, sent to the discard pile. So I had to go with Mavis. This is a very greedy play because I have to draw into at least 2 attack cards for it to be worth my money. If Mavis just gets me nothing, and also all this planning is for naught because I forgot my opponent has an energy group. This is a very big mistake on my part. I should only use Mavis if I'm super confident my opponent has used too many bird cards previous turn. So there's very low chance he will use 2 bird cards in a row, taking down the Mavis. I think this game is pretty much decided. The only way I win now is if my opponent draws 0 attack cards, 0 revenge attack cards, and all shields. I wanted to put hope sticker saying that I lost. Oh, that's so sad. Okay, here are clips where I've learned a lesson or 2. This is a game where I made a mistake and I still won because of luck. But I still want to show you the mistake I made, just so that you would learn from it. My opponent is playing looks like a curse team. Not really, it's your standard aggro team. So the reason why I say that I won because of luck is because there will be some games where you win, and you don't deserve the win. Let me be the first person spitting you hard truths and facts. There will be some games where you win and you have no idea why you won. But you should not be insensitive to the mistakes you make during that game. So you can always learn and improve. So that one day when you actually win, you deserve it. So far everything's going great. Notice that I used the Nemo to heal my front line so that his health goes above 50. This is to avoid dying to a sword. But my opponent is smarter than that. Oh, Tiny Fan's so good. It heals, it gives you damage boost. I returned the Castro because I want to disable him going into the 1v1. So that was my mistake. I knew there was a Jinx in my draw pile. I knew. But at the same time, I couldn't for the life of me put the Mavis at the back line. Now here's the mistake. If I would have put Mavis at the back line, Jinx would have killed the Mavis and my life would be above 150. Thank God that he only had 2 revenge attack cards. I could have lost the game because of that. That's a very big mistake. That is like basic mistake. At this level, at this competitive level, that's a very basic mistake. And I won because I got lucky. Still, it's a good lesson. That game, I didn't get my Moonstamp yet. This is just to show you that I got it from Moonshard crafting. No SLP, just Moonshard. And what I immediately do is I got rid of that bird charm for power and equip the Moonstamp. It's gonna be so good. With the Moonstamp, my Kestrel will now hit the midline or the second closest. So it always jumps the first person in front of me and goes to the Axie or unit directly behind. And this game, I want to show you where I make one small mistake and I lost the entire game. So the game before, I make one mistake but I won because of luck. This one, I played perfectly but I make one small mistake in the beginning which costed me the game. Or at least I like to think that way. It looks like my opponent here is playing a very standard aggressive team with one Kingfisher, Moonstamp. Moonstamp is really good by the way. Now even if my mistake, the mistake I made, does not directly cost me a loss, I still think about it. What could I have done differently? I have made a really big mistake. This was the mistake. Summoning a Mavis at my very first round is a mistake because my opponent could have just used 2 bird cards to kill the bird, my Mavis. Why? Because my opponent has an energy guru. He got chubby right in that turn, but he didn't use it. It's more energy efficient to just use 2 bird cards and get rid of the Mavis. That was the mistake I made. It's very small. It's so minuscule. Yet when I see the replay, I keep thinking, maybe I wouldn't have lost this if I didn't make that mistake. So here I made a really good move where instead of using the Babylonia, I clear it, discarded it, reshuffled my entire draw pile, and drew into a shoal star. That was a very good move. When I made that move in the game, I really thought I just redeemed myself. Cloud is so unique. It hits me. If it's an initial attack, it will silence me, and it means I cannot use Nemo. Something like that. Kestrel and Moonstamp in motion is really cool. You get to see that it actually skips the first target and hits the one behind. Okay, we are now in the 1v1. Oh, so sad. All swords. The reason why Hungry Bird is so strong is because it doesn't deal just 20. It deals 20 and then the normal damage which comes out. So it's very painful and it heals. So good. It was a hard lesson. Okay, this game is a game where everything goes right. Where I did not make a mistake. Or at the same time, I like to believe the mistakes I make were very minimal. And also, I think before I act. My opponent here has a Kestrel with a Rocket Stamp, so that's something I have to look out for. And a double top with a Sun Stamp. A Sun Stamp on a double top means that the double top will go to the very last guy, which is my bird. The bird with Kestrel. Here I summoned my Mavis, and this was good because my opponent has no way to combat it. They have nothing to kill my Mavis. They don't have Energy Guru. And I didn't summon my Mavis at the very end, because if I summon it at the very end, double top will hit the Mavis. I'm just trying to foresee all possible scenarios. I was double checking my thoughts on it though. I'm like, if I put the Mavis at the back, if he hits me with a blackmail, I could at least put it on my Mavis. But then I think back again, like, no, I don't want to risk it. My Mavis has so much value to me. Like, look at this. I've set up myself for a very good card draw with Goldfish. Because I sequence it well, I managed to... Oh, for this one, my goal, the reason why I shuffle it away is because I'm looking for a bird card. If I can chain 2 bird cards in a turn, I can kill his Mavis. I needed his Mavis to die. Because I want all the benefits, I don't want my opponent to have the same benefits. Recently I always lead with a Risky Fish, because I really like it. Did you see that? I used the clear to shuffle away Shoal Star, because I know Shoal Star is gonna kill the guy anyway. My goal is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Literally. 1 extra bird. So I shuffled it away, and I got a bird card, which is good. I hit, and the Mavis at the back takes 6 damage from Energy Guru, which is what I wanted all along. This set me up for a very good late game, which it could be a 1v1, but I could win like this also. And I got the win. Energy Guru is so good. Really, really good. This is one last replay showing you the perfect use case for Energy Guru. Like I've already shown you how powerful sequencing and whatnot is. Here's just the game showing you how powerful Energy Guru is. Especially paired with the Moonstamp on Kestrel. It looks like my opponent is playing a standard aggro deck. I have no idea how to classify these opponents. They have a mixture of defense and offense, but it seems like mostly just offense and some sort of stalling tactic. One cool thing to note is if you see your opponent gain life out of nowhere, you can click and check on their cards to see if they have Puppy or if they have Anemone. Because Anemone and Puppy gives them health. So whenever I see that, oh, he's healing, it means he drew an Anemone. This is important information to know. It gives you some sort of insight into what he drew in his hand. And if you notice, just now the Kestrel really did a good work on my opponent. It locked him out from attacking me. This is one of the games where I get the perfect sequence for me to use Goldfish. Now my opponent is not a beginner. He is smart. He knows that if I draw Kestrel, and if I use Kestrel, it will hit the Clover. Because he doesn't want his backline to get disabled. Therefore he positioned his Clover that way. So for my turn I just did what I normally do and just try to deal as much damage as possible to the midline. Look at that lamb, so painful. See this? Kestrel doesn't work. Therefore I chose to use Swallow. Making his life down to 6, then use Kestrel to kill the guy in the middle and dealing 6 damage to everyone because of Energy Guru. Here it's pretty much clear who wins. But I want to make sure I don't make any mistake in my sequence. And that's the game. Now with all these new flashbacks, not really, this is me trying again to win at Dragon. I fell to Tiger 1, right? And I climbed back up to Dragon 4-0. This is another game at Dragon 4, 0 stars. Hoping to win. I need a win. I wanna brag and have bragging rights that I have improved this season. Recently, I really love to lead with Babylonia into a Cupid. Like, there is a tier list in my head. Babylonia is more useful to me than Cupid right now. It depends. In some situations, Cupid is good, especially if my opponent's health is very low, to the point where they are left with 15 or less HP. Suddenly a Cupid feels like a sleep, or it feels like a disable, because it frightens my opponent. If they use a card, they die. Kestrel, I could Risky Fish. Most likely I'll Risky Fish, but I want to check first to see if my opponent used any secrets. Oh, I used Kestrel, yeah. Kestrel's good. It locks the guy in the middle. The guy in the middle is terrifying. He has dominant predator, so if he ever hits us with a chubby, all of my guys will be on bleed, and I cannot hit him for the most damage I can deal. To me, digging deep into my draw pile and using up the clear is more important than my life. Yes, it's 15 health, but I just need to dig deep. Oh, so painful. Bloodlust is so powerful, really, really powerful. Kestrel. Kestrel isn't that great here because it does not have an initial. So I decided to get rid of it and hope to God I don't draw the void. Oh, I didn't draw the void. That's good enough for me. Drawing into a void is really, really painful because it reduces your energy if you draw into it. And how would I know? Even before I draw, I'll check my energy pool. If it goes down by 1, oh, I knew I drew a void. Or when you start the turn, you check how much energy. Oh, 2 energy? It means I'll draw a void. Bleed is so universal and it's so underrated. A damage card hitting you with Bleed does not only deal, for example, the 60 damage on the Bleed, it also deals you 15, and the 15 is very, very subtle. You don't feel it, but when it happens, oh, it hurts. I have 65 health. The maximum cards I can use on my Aqua is only 2. If I use 3 cards, my Aqua will die. And I need my Aqua to survive because he does not have any AoE cards. He does not have any card which can hit 2 things at the same time. He is single target only. That means my Aqua can take 1 hit before it goes down. Let me check what he used. He used a secret. That secret, since it doesn't have like Axie giving Axie something, it's definitely a revenge card. That's how I know that secret is like that. And that is the game I finally am. Dragon 4 with 1 star. Oh, this is so satisfying. And perfectly ended my stamina at 0 to close out. And I ended at 3009. Oh wow. I'm getting closer and closer to the top 1k. So 1 for the road. Let us craft something with just moonshards. How powerful that. Yes, that is it. Like this video, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.